today I'm going to show you how I introduce playing with the horse soccer ball. I've got Candy with me here today, and she's actually never played with the ball. If anything, she's a little bit scared of it, so we're going to see what we can do as far as changing her mind about playing with this ball. And then later I'm going to show you a horse that has a little bit more experience and show you what it would look like later on during the training. So what I'm going to actually be doing is introducing her to the ball by just encouraging her to interact with it. Anything as far as it could start off with just a look, approaching it, depending on how worried your horse is about the ball, will factor in where you start off. You want to start off below the fear threshold and work up to it. Some horses are not worried about it at all and will just walk right up to it, sniff it, play with it. That's great. Some horses are a little bit afraid of it and you have to work up to it. So we're going to see where Candy is, and you guys will get to watch as I introduce her to it. And then, like I said, we'll move on to working with a different horse later on that will give you an idea of what it will eventually look like.
Okay guys, so like I mentioned before, what we're going to be doing in the very beginning is I'm just asking Candy to approach the ball, to look at the ball, depending on, again, how afraid of the ball your horse is or not afraid of it, is going to determine where you start. Candy was a little bit less worried about the ball than I thought she would be. In the past, she's actually spooked at it. So with a horse like that, you might start off clear across the turnout and slowly work up just step by step towards that ball. But you would do it in the same manner that I'm doing here. Just ask for a little step forward or a little look or a little touch and click and reward. So anytime she walks towards it, in the beginning I clicked and reward or she looked at it, but now very quickly we got to the point where I'm actually looking for her to touch the ball, and as soon as she does, I'm clicking and rewarding. In the beginning, sometimes it takes them a minute to figure out what's going on. This is very similar. This is basically the same idea as targeting. I'm asking her to target the soccer ball, and anytime she touches it, rewarding. And we're going to progress from this point towards actually getting her to move the ball, to interact with it more, but we're starting off at a very, very small point because she has no concept of being able to play with the ball. That's just completely foreign to her, so we're going to work her up to it. So in the beginning, the ball is stationary, and I ask her to touch it, and then now we're working up to the ball is moving, and I want her to touch it. And I'm going to ask her to start to follow the ball and start to actually push it with her nose and to move it around. Sometimes, like right before that one, she had gotten a little bit stuck. She didn't, the ball is actually away from my body now. Instead of me being on the other side of the ball or next to the ball is actually further away from me. So I'm actually asking her to move her head away from me towards the targeted object, the ball. So that's another step of it, is getting her to move away from my body towards the target object, which is the soccer ball, like I said. So you have to break this down to the smallest steps, and you have to remember that every step is a new phase for the horse, and they have to mentally process and think about it. They don't just understand that you want them to go play with the ball. So here what I'm doing is I'm wanting her to bump the ball with her chest and her legs, and anytime she walks towards it, and gets her chest up against it or her leg up against it, even though she's not intentionally trying to kick the ball, I'm clicking and rewarding. I'm using my body to help guide her and the lead rope a little bit into the ball and getting her to walk towards it. Some horses are more prone to using their legs during play than others, but because of what type of play I'm wanting, I do want to encourage her to use her legs. So in the very beginning, after we established her touching it comfortably with her nose, we started moving on to having the legs touch the ball.
Yeah, good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Okay, so now I'm here with River. We're going to show you, this is her third practice, I believe. So she's a little bit further along, but she's still learning. Eventually I would like her to get to a little bit further point where she's actually chasing and playing with the ball, but we're going to see what we get today. She does interact with it substantially more than Candy did. Obviously that was her first time. But let's see what we've got today, and I'll show you a horse that's a little bit further along.
Alright, so now we're here with River, and as you can see already, she's a lot further along. She's starting to use her legs. She's actually pushing the ball and moving it around. We have practiced this 3 times, like I said. And what I'm wanting her to do now is to actually start following the ball and even possibly working up towards trotting with the ball, playing in repeated movements. So not just a single bite or a single kick or a single push and then a click reward. I would like to see double of everything, and then we'll work up to triple of everything, and then we'll get up to having full play sessions with minimal other rewards, and the play itself will become rewarding because we'll be interacting with each other, and she'll have been conditioned to really enjoy playing with the soccer ball. So we're walking together, and here's actually a really interesting thing that happens. So River is very attached to me. She's kind of a Velcro horse. We use that term with dog training as well, Velcro dog. And she gets a little bit lost that she's supposed to be interacting with something else and not directly with me and my body. So I just wait patiently. I wait it out, and I wait for her to interact with the object that we are working with, and I reward it heavily because this is an excellent part of her training, and this is excellent for any horse that is having spatial issues where they're staying really close to you and don't want to move away from your body, personal bubble issues. And really all it is the horse has just learned that staying right next to you is the most rewarding spot, and that's fine, except for that they also need to be able to work away from you as well. So this has been excellent for River. But we've progressed from where I was working with Candy with just little head touches and little bumps with the leg to now full-blown movements and bouncing the ball and kicking it with her legs. It's just been a very, very steady. I'm looking for a little bit bigger movement, a little bit more, and each little bit bigger step and a little bit bigger movement I'm rewarding. It's a fine line knowing when it's time to ask your horse for just a little bit more and when they are still learning to give just the very basics. Some horses will take a little bit longer than others. Here we're actually walking with the ball, which is great. You see her legs kind of high stepping just a tiny bit higher than normal, and that's great. She's thinking and trying to process using her legs to kick at it. But I really liked that she was continuing to follow the ball and touch the ball and to play with it. So here you see again, she's wanting to stay with me, but then she's like, oh yes, I remember, we're playing with the ball. I'm not so much looking for a particular movement. If she wants to use her head, if she wants to use her leg. We've gotten to the point now where any form of heavy interaction with the soccer ball is completely fine, because I don't want to dictate, I only want you using with your legs. But you could do that if you only wanted them to use their legs or only wanted them to use their hands, or sorry, their head, then you could do that. But I want her to interact, full body interaction. I want it to turn into a big play session with this ball. So teeth, hooves, head, doesn't matter. I just want her interacting with it.
Yeah, you're so cute. I know. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope that was helpful for you guys to watch and to see the horses playing with their big ball. I hope to do some more videos that are similar, maybe on things like fetching and some other tricks, but that are really good for both their mind and their body, and keeping them active and engaged with you, as well as making training fun. That helps keep horses really willing and excited to interact with their humans, so it's not all work, work, work. I'll see you guys next time.